wine at the Radisson Hotel in Green Bay. This is Locker Room with Local 5 Sports Director Bert Griffin.
It was another slow start for the Packers in the Mile High City. But after coming back to take the lead, things didn't go in Green Bay's way. And now with back-to-back games at Lambeau Field, Matt LaFleur and company will find out who they are against an NFC North foe. Get ready for another edition of Locker Room. Welcome back to Locker Room, right here inside the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center, inside the Cedar and Sage restaurant, while the Packers have some work to do after that downer against the Broncos in Denver. But they've got Minnesota coming to town next Sunday here at Lambeau Field in the first of back-to-back home games. Here to talk about that and all things green and gold, former Packer defensive back, special team star, and Super Bowl champion Jarrett Bush. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're like the rest of us at home watching that ball game. Another slow start in the first half. They picked things up. They've been making great adjustments in the locker room, but this one they just didn't have enough to hang on at the end. The Broncos go down and kick a field goal, and now they're 2-4, looking up at not only the Vikings but the Lions still in the division.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off your statement, the Lions, the same thing, right? They were 9-8 this past year, right? Now they're at the top of the division, right? So hopefully, I'm hoping that the Packers are able to kind of get the momentum along this season. I understand that they're still a really young team. Understanding when I was a rookie, I was playing quite fearful, but at the same time, you got to go out there. At some point, you got to let those anxieties, those butterflies go, and just lay your ears back and just play. So a lot of times, I feel like they're pretty hesitant out there. But at the same time, as the game goes on, you start to build your confidence. And I think that's what you're seeing is in that first quarter, right? You can smell the fear. When I watch it on tape, I smell fear. But in that second half, somehow they start steamrolling and start developing some momentum. So hopefully they can take that and look at it, and hopefully they can incorporate that into the first half.
Do you think that is simply just a youth thing? Because they are the youngest roster overall in the entire NFL, but in the last 4 games outscored 63-6. That's pretty rough when you have 2 field goals and you're climbing uphill the whole way.
It is, and you got to look at it from a coaching standpoint as well. Like, what can these guys handle? Like, what are some of the things that they can incorporate onto the field to make them play fast? And if you look at some of the defense, they're just playing man. Yep. And I think, but at the same time, a defensive coordinator, you got to be able to make adjustments when you're going to Sutton 7 out of 10 times. Yeah. You got to start to pick up on that. That's D coordinator's issue. Yeah. On offense, you got to manufacture points.
Well, and when Anders Carlson, who has been solid all season, misses a field goal, you'll go into that locker room and Russell Wilson marches them right down. They go up 9-0. Did you think they had it in them to come back at 16-3? Because all of a sudden, bang, they 2 drives right down the field. They get a little bit lucky with the little tip pass that falls right in Jaden Reed's hands. Yeah. They take the lead 17-16, but in the end, just couldn't make enough plays, and then that costly interception by Jordan Love.
Yeah, again, I think in the beginning, they're young, and I think they got to find a way to find some difference makers in the beginning to at least stimulate some momentum, some growth, as well as to manufacture those points. You either got to put a field goal or you got to put a touchdown in the first couple of drives, or else, again, you're setting yourself back and you're always trying to dig yourself out of the hole in that second half time and time again. And so that seems to be the theme. Right. When are they going to start fast and when they're going to take the lead?
Yeah, and they're making adjustments at halftime. That's what good coaches usually do. Correct. And you see the improvement in the third and the fourth quarter, but when you have too many 3-and-outs, we hear that phrase complimentary football. Yeah. That's a thing. Right. I know when Jair Alexander a couple of weeks after the Raiders game said, well, I guess can't allow any touchdowns. Yeah. You don't want to point the finger, but you've been in locker rooms. The offense, when they're not carrying their weight, defensive guys get a little ticked off.
We do. At the same time, it's a brotherhood
and vice versa.
Right, it's a brotherhood too. Like if the offense isn't putting up points, the defense, we got to tighten up. We got to take space away, take air away from the receivers, take air away from the running game, and suffocate them in the sense of a defensive mindset. At the same time, they got to get healthy. Yep. The injury bug bit them bad. Devondre Campbell, Jair, You can go down the list. Now Christian Watson. They got to get healthy. They got to continue just to grow and develop the players.
Well, and a guy like Eric Stokes, over a year with the double injury with the knee and the ankle, he comes back, and now he's possibly on the shelf. We'll see more tomorrow. All right, time now for our U.S. Cellular call of the game late in the third quarter. With 2nd and 9 at the 16-yard line, Jordan Love tossed one up for Romeo Doubs, who won the battle for the football. That sparked a 17-point second half. Love to Doubs with our U.S. Cellular call of the game. Reminds me a little bit of Devontae in some ways with that hand strength, the ability to wrestle that ball away. And Doubs, I mean, if Christian Watson is out, he's going to be the guy.
Yeah, definitely. And Romeo Doubs has to be the guy. I think he's the guy that's been proven to make the play, to make the tough catch. And I think as well with Jordan Love, he has the best chemistry and knowing that where he's going to be.
Yep.
So Romeo Doubs has to continue to grow, take that next step, and continue to grow, and just continue to just produce and help Jordan manufacture those points.
Yep. All right. When we come back on Locker Room, we'll have our player guest of the week. Packers center Josh Myers is in the house. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Welcome back to Locker Room right here inside the Cedar and Sage restaurant. Please welcome our special guest of the night, Packers center Josh Myers, everybody. How you doing? Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Look, tough stretch of games here, 2-4, not where you want to be, but Jared and I have talked about it. Everyone out there knows this is a young team trying to find its way, isn't it?
It is. It is. I think to me, we're a team that's going out there and consistently giving effort every week. So, I think moving forward, it's just a young team, and we're gonna, do everything we can to fix it and put wins on the board.
Yeah. So Josh, when I watch film, it seems like at first starting the game, I feel like everybody has anxieties, no matter what sport you play, football, basketball, whatever. So at what point do you start to feel that energy shift into like, okay, we got this.
We're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, any anxiety that I have is gone once I step onto the field. So for me, once I step onto the field for warm-ups and I can kind of get out there and get sweating a little bit and get some deep breaths in, it's gone for me personally. And I kind of just forget about the TV and the fans, and it's just kind of, football on the field personally.
Kind of how it is, when you look around, you're like, wow, this is 80,000 people every single Sunday. But by the third or fourth snap, you can't be thinking about anything else out there. Right. You got to go out and play football.
Yeah, there's just simply too many things going on at once. You don't have time to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have Lil Wayne running out there in the tunnel. Man. I thought that was great, man. That's a huge treat, man.
I got to tell you, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and I just did not ever foresee myself like dancing around in the tunnel with Lil Wayne, man. That was the coolest. That was the coolest experience ever.
Yeah. What else have you ever? I mean, everyone has that welcome to the pros moment on the field. What else off the field have you gone? Man, this is the life of an NFL player. Where I get it, the money, all that, and the fame, and you're a lineman in Green Bay, Wisconsin, so everyone even knows who you are. That might not be the case somewhere else, right?
Yeah, that's true, man. There's been a few for sure, but I think my favorite, my girlfriend and I went on a trip. The NFLPA did a golf tournament in the Bahamas, and we stayed at a place out there and played a golf tournament and stayed totally free for like 4 days. It was an amazing trip. Oh my gosh! Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
And so being a young team, what is it like in the locker room? So when I played, we had some vets that we learned from. And I was talking to somebody before we came on set, and I was like, man, we had Al Harris. We had, basically he was 32 years old when I came in as a rookie. William Henderson, again, an old vet that I got the chance to learn from. Brett Favre. Charles Woodson. Who's that guy that you guys lean on to kind of corral the guys like, hey, these are some of the things that we want to start to do, incorporate, and we want to start to turn the page?
Yeah, sure. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I can pinpoint one guy in that room. And we have guys who, like even Jordan Love, who is stepping up and being a leader in that way in the room. So I don't know if I could put it on one guy, but We've got so many like just wonderful men and wonderful leaders in our locker room and around our building and our facility. So I 100% wholeheartely believe like we're going to figure it out, and we will get it fixed.
Yeah. Well, this is no disrespect to some of the teams that you were on, but I mean, I've been going inside that locker room this is my 29th season covering the Green Bay Packers. There's not a single guy that isn't approachable in that locker room.
Agreed.
That you can't go. That's not always been the case, though. there were some guys who, if you went to they would kind of shun you. They didn't want to do interviews. But I think, is that what you kind of mean by that? Where character dudes who are just pretty normal, and that's what you feel when you walk in there.
Yeah, it is, and it's also, it's guys, guys are stepping up and saying things when they need to be said and addressing the team. And look, the reality of it is we are 2-4, and none of us are okay with that as players. No one wants to win more than we do. So, yeah, we're just figuring it out together.
And so, talking about like some of the other guys, I think those guys that you're talking about, I think those guys were the guys like if things weren't going right or we were struggling, those are the guys that were fired up. They would bring everybody together, basically chew everybody out in a sense because they wanted to win. They were so competitive. The A-Rods, Charles, the Al Harrises, they would step up and talk to us as a group, put their arm around us and corral us and hype us up, get ready to go play football, to know that we're in this together, right? We're all in this together. Because everybody has families at home, everybody's depending on one another, it's a brotherhood. Again, to talk, to Burke about, some of those guys shunned you, I think those guys were the guys who would say the things behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying, to corral the guys in the meetings. So nothing against them, I just think those guys were the ones who would say the words that they couldn't say publicly, you know what I'm saying, they would say some of the cuss words to get the players to rally. And I think that's essentially what you guys need to do, in my opinion, is having that guy, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but having those guys to corral the guys, bring them in close, right? It's a brotherhood, right? Because you're stronger when you're together.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have 100% had that in our locker room. So.
You can see that too, especially on that offensive line.
Right.
I mean, you've got depth. I know guys are banged up, but you got so many interchangeable parts that you got to feel confident moving forward, right? Even with David Bakhtiari being done for the year, we get that and as great as he was, he's got to figure out what's going on with his situation. But the rest of you are almost all 25 years and younger.
Yeah. We do have a lot of depth. We are a very young offensive line, and I think just week in and week out, we're getting better. And I think the tape every week is getting better. And I don't see that changing. I mean, especially like guys like Rasheed Walker. I mean, some of the plays and the snaps that he's getting, just the experience is so valuable for him. I mean, he's going to progress quickly.
Yep. All right, one final thing. We'll take a break right now, but we're talking some Ohio State, Wisconsin football. We're going to break down a little bit of the Vikings and go in the zone. Time now, though, for our Easy Tab fan cam as we go to break right here at Locker Room inside the Cedar and Sage restaurant. Welcome back to Locker Room right here inside the Cedar and Sage restaurant in the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. He's Packers center Josh Myers. We all get to watch Monday Night Football. I know it isn't exactly game film. You don't get to see as much. Yeah. You don't have coaches breaking everything down. This Minnesota team, though, coming in here, Josh, I mean, they started, 0-3. They picked up a couple wins and a big one over San Fran last night.
Yeah, they've definitely got some steam rolling, and I was watching the game last night and watching tape on them too, kind of at the same time. They got a tough team and a good defense. It's going to be a good challenge for us.
How do you think that D-line stacks up? I mean, Danielle Hunter, one of the premier pass rushing guys, you probably won't hope. I mean, you never know. Stunting, moving around, screens. You never know who you're gonna face. What they're pretty stout up front. How would you view them? They're in the middle of the rankings for everything in defense.
Yeah. I think they're pretty veteran up front. I know they've got Dean and Danielle Hunter and all those guys, and some guys we've played against for several years. So yeah, they're tough. And I was watching game film. They've got a pretty complicated defensive front and third down blitz package. So we're gonna have to come ready to play.
Yeah, they bring it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Division rival, I know Mike McCarthy always put things on the door. What does Matt LaFleur have? It was always intensity for Vikings. Does he still have it, or like Bears focus? I think it's Detroit.
No, he does. I'm not sure exactly what Mike did. No,
right.
but I mean, it's the first thing that is talked about in the team meeting the day after.
Okay.
So yesterday.
Okay.
We got yes, we lost the Broncos last week, but yes, we also have a Vikings
forward.
game. Yeah.
Turn the page.
Hey, it's time to go play some ball.
Yeah.
What's the conversation going to be like when you go head up with Dean Lowry?
Shoot, probably not a whole lot of conversation, man. Dean's got a real strong bull rush, so gonna have to pack my lunch and bring it, man. It's gonna be a tough fight for 4 quarters, no doubt.
It's a brotherhood off the field, but on the field is no holds barred.
Exactly. Once the game's over, I'd definitely go say hi to him. I know his wife and everyone. Good friends and all that. So.
All right. Well, every week we go inside the locker room. This week's edition brought to you by Oneida Nation. In the Zone with Cam Ezer.
Here with Packers DB Rudy Ford. Rudy, you've moved around the NFL a lot. This is your 4th spot. Well, how do you think that moving around the NFL and jumping from spot to spot has impacted your NFL career?
Hopefully this is my last spot. I want to make a home here, so whatever we got to do to make this my home, that's what I want to do. But ultimately, it's been good. I've been able to play with a bunch of different talented guys throughout the whole entire league, so it's been good. I've been able to learn a lot from playing with different guys on different teams, and been able to improve my game a lot. So yeah, it's been good.
A lot of the times it takes people a while to realize that the NFL is a business. Now you've been a part of it for a while. What have you learned the most about the business aspect of the NFL?
The business aspect, just be ready for change. I was traded my second year. I was traded out of the blue. Had to move to another city. Just be ready for change. Anything can happen.
Now you said you want to make Green Bay your home. Why is it that Green Bay is the spot where you feel like, this could be a place where I could settle down?
I love the fans, best fans in America, I feel. But, ultimately, man, I got my real opportunities here, and they're letting me go and be me. So, I can't ask for anything else. They let me be me, and I'm able to show them, what I can do. So, definitely.
How cool is it that you've reached a point in your professional career where it just seems like you're just having a lot of fun?
It's a blessing, man. I just take it day by day, and just have fun with it. We here to work, and just all the stressful stuff. Make sure you lock in and focus on what you got to, and then everything else, get back to having fun.
Undrafted.
All right, thanks, fellas. Like you said right there, undrafted, right? Mm-hmm. This guy was drafted. He went to Ohio State. The Buckeyes are coming to Madtown this weekend. Yeah. We're all pulling for Bucky in the red. Your guys, though, have a legit shot at another national championship, don't they?
They sure look like it after this weekend, I think, man. They're tough.
You got anything to say about Jim Harbaugh in Michigan or no?
No. Hey, no bulletin board material.
No bulletin board material. All right, when we come back, we'll have our keys to the game when the Packers take on the Vikings come Sunday. Josh Myers, Jared Bush, I'm Burt Griffin. We'll be right back after the break.
He's done.
He's a while.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Locker Room. Right now, that is our best seats in the house, courtesy of Viper Industrial. Darlene and Richard Bowman from Appleton. You have a chance to win and have those seats every week. Now, keys to the game, we'll wrap things up real quick. They are brought to you by the dispensary. Not only do you have to pressure Kirk Cousins, but Justin Jefferson's out right now, and Jordan Addison had a huge game against the Niners. And hey, let's score some points in the first half at home, right, Josh?
Yeah. Huge emphasis, obviously, on starting fast and staying ahead of the sticks. Manageable second and third downs.
Manageable down and distance. That's what the coaches like to preach.
I like it.
He's Packer center Josh Myers. He is former Packer superstar, defensive back and safety and corner, and Super Bowl Hall of Famer.
Man,
like I said earlier.
Keep it coming now, bro.
Thanks for watching Locker Room.
Thank you for watching Locker Room.